CEAM was started in 2008, and it really was in response to a growing concern from parents across the state of Missouri about the quality of the education that their children were receiving in their local districts.
I live in a school district that's been underperforming for 10 years. We want options. I don't want to feel like my child is a zip code.
Our biggest problem was bullying. He did very well in the academic areas, but social problems existed and it bothered me.
All parents now and back then want the same thing for their children. They want their children to be able to not just merely survive, but to truly thrive in life. It's been a very long, very focused, and very dedicated commitment to changing state policy through these last 15 years.
The goal is to hold all school systems to be accountable. And the only way you can be accountable is giving school children and their parents another option.
It has led to the passage of 3 very important education policies that have been codified into Missouri law. The first is charter school expansion. The second most important policy that we passed was the virtual ed law. Most recently, CEAM and its partners around the state were successful in passing probably one of the most important pieces of education policy.
Trying to get an ESA program in the state of Missouri has been a monumental task. I've been working for it for over a decade. CEAM has been there from the start and bringing parents to meet legislators, and that was so critical for legislators to see and meet these parents.
CEAM has brought a grassroots army to the school choice fight. So often education policy disputes are hashed out between professional lobbyists and all the people hired by the school industry and legislators. But who's left out of the conversation far too often are parents and the kids that would benefit from these programs. And so CEAM has done a really great job of organizing those parents and organizing those kids, putting them before the legislature.
Without CEAM, Missouri education would not be nearly what it is today.
If we don't figure out a way to change our system as a whole, our education system, and whatever it takes to make sure we give a kid an education and we give them the opportunity to have a job, that's what will change the needle in society as a whole.
Empowerment scholarship accounts do exactly what the title says, and that is to empower parents and students to find the school that works best for them.
ESAs are so important because it really revolutionizes how education is done. It provides parents with complete control. They can create a micro school, which means you can get several parents together to create a school and hire a state certified teacher. They can use it for tuition at a private school. They can use it for homeschool curriculum, and every child learns differently. Parents need those options so that way they can meet their child's needs.
With this bill passing, every child gets those opportunities. You know, it isn't about race, it isn't about your creed or your religion or your politics. It's solely about we want every young child to have a great opportunity to grow up and be successful and to become whatever they're designed to be in life. This is the change we've been waiting on in Missouri. You know, we've said years and years and years after fighting and pleading that we want school choice, we want parents to be able to control where their students are and what opportunities their children have, and it's now here. So half the work is done, and now it's time for the parents to step up and perform.
Passing the legislation and getting it signed into law is only the beginning. Now the real work begins, as they say.
If we're going to show Missouri how this can really help parents and help their kids get better educated, we need this program to be successful.
I want to see the entire $25 million raised and distributed to kids in need within the first year. I get calls, it almost seems like every day now, and it's from parents, and they're like, we read about your program in the news. How do I enroll? I give them CEAM's website, and I say, listen, there's this organization in St. Louis. They are connecting parents with all the information that is currently publicly available on how the school choice program will work. They're working with schools in the community that could receive these students, and they are on the forefront of implementation for the empowerment scholarship programs, that this organization is really doing an important role. It's one that state legislators can't do on their own, and it's one that even the Treasurer's Office and our state government can't do by itself.
CEAM is really the only statewide organization that is focused on meeting with parents and school leaders and making them aware of the law and helping them figure out whether or not they can participate and should participate. Getting the word out about this program is really going to take a kind of phased and tiered approach. You have to do a lot of direct contact. There will be door-to-door canvassing. There'll be town halls. There'll be in-person events, virtual events, a paid media campaign, an earned media campaign. To reach every qualified student in the state of Missouri, we actually have to reach tens of thousands of students. For decades, families have really been fighting for better educational opportunities for their children. We now have this tremendous opportunity, but it cannot happen with CEAM alone. We need support from people around the state, financial support that will help us achieve our goals and to make sure that every family and every school leader is able to take advantage of this program. If you believe that education can change a young person's life, then this is the program. This ESA program and CEAM's work in expanding this program across the state is really the program to consider funding.